Pete Buttigieg has dropped out of the race to be the Democratic candidate to take on President Trump for the US presidency. The 38-year-old former mayor enjoyed a successful start to his campaign, but it lost momentum in recent weeks. He narrowly won the Iowa caucuses early last month and came in a strong second place in the New Hampshire primary, but faltered badly in Saturday's South Carolina vote. He made the announcement a short time ago at a rally in his hometown of South Bend, Indiana.
Today is a moment of truth. After a year of going everywhere, meeting everyone, defying every expectation, seeking every vote, the truth is that the path has narrowed to a close for our candidacy, if not for our cause. And another of those values is responsibility. And we have a responsibility to consider the effect of remaining in this race any further. Our goal has always been to help unify Americans to defeat Donald Trump and to win the era for our values.
Well, Robert Kramer is Democratic strategist and he joins me now from Chicago. Robert, thanks for joining us here on BBC News. Are you surprised by this move?
Well, I think there's some inevitability to it. He ran a remarkable campaign, and as he said, he did make the improbable possible. But the path to his victory seemed to narrow. I do think that there is some question as to exact impact of his withdrawal. There was a Morning Consult poll just the other day, just a couple of days ago, that showed that as second choices to Buttigieg, his own supporters' second choices, 21% were for Biden, 19% for Biden, 21% for Sanders, 19% for Biden, 19% for Elizabeth Warren, and another 17% for Bloomberg. So there's not a definitive break to Biden in that respect. The one thing that would be helpful to Biden is by narrowing the field, I think this increases the odds that a number of these candidates may reach the 15% viability level in some of the upcoming primaries, and as a consequence, peel off some delegates potentially away from Bernie.
Why do you think this happened before Super Tuesday?
Oh, I think there was probably a good deal of discussion with some of the other candidates with respect to exactly that question. If he doesn't think he can make it, narrow the number of people in the field so that the 15% viability threshold can be reached and that Sanders doesn't run away with it. I don't know that will be the actual outcome, but I suspect that was the principal rationale for the move before Super Tuesday.
How do you think Buttigieg's supporters, those really keen supporters, feel right now about the fact that he's pulled out? Because he came from virtually nothing, didn't he, to something quite impressive.
Yes, he did. And in any campaign, when the candidate that you've invested your heart and soul in withdraws, then, that's a disappointing development. And I'm sure a number of them will be disappointed. The effect of his withdrawal on the immediate Super Tuesday election is mitigated by the fact that huge numbers of the people who will vote in that election on Tuesday have already voted through early voting, particularly in California. And I might add that, say, in Massachusetts, for instance, he was sharing a lot of the vote with Elizabeth Warren. That may help boost Elizabeth there. So the exact final impact we're not going to see until, luckily, pretty quickly, a couple of days from now.
I mean, I know it's very early days, but who's your money on, Robert?
Well, the odds are best still. I think that Bernie Sanders is the likely nominee. I'm a big fan personally of Elizabeth Warren, if she were able to continue to hang on and build her support. Biden has a head of steam coming out of South Carolina, but he's going to have to do a lot to broaden his base to include, in particular, Hispanic voters. And the big problem in the general election we have is not so much swing voters who might otherwise vote for Trump. It's mostly assuring that the people who voted for Obama on the one hand and then didn't vote or voted for third party, those people have got to be back with us in the fall. And that's what Biden, has to show that he can do. Bernie, I think, can do that.
OK, Robert Kramer, good to talk to you. Thank you very much for your analysis.
Good to be with you.